I don't know if anybody. Well, you've probably heard of him. Andy hasn't until earlier. Sketch. He's a Twitch streamer. He mostly plays Madden. He's been making his rounds, dude. He's been on like Theo Vaughn's podcast. He
Damn it!
just had to go there immediately.
You just told me about it, and then you go that way with it.
So, he was on an episode of Good Golf. They golfed with him. He's been on some Twitch streams with Bob Does Sports playing Madden with him. He did a draft pick for sure making his rounds. Yikes. He did a draft pick for the Houston Texans in the NFL draft, or he announced the draft pick or whatever. So he's gotten pretty big in a short period of time. So recently it came out that he had been on a gay OnlyFans account, like he did content for it. Apparently it was before he was internet famous. I think he said it was like a couple of years ago. He was dealing with addiction issues, and it was a dark time for him. So it kind of hit him out of the blue. It just kind of came out randomly. And he dealt with it. He actually said that if he found out about it and he was alone at his house, that he probably wouldn't be here, which is a huge thing there. Like, that's really sad that, like, despite what you've done in your past or what have you, like, the past is the past. You should kind of, like, decide when that comes out, or at least have a handle on it.
Well,
you can play two sides of the same coin there with, you know, it. You can kind of just come forward with it and just say it, or you can keep trying to hide it and hope that it doesn't come out, which he said that he was struggling with, you know, the fact that it might get released, it might come out at some point. But
so that right there, I don't know how many times I say this a week to multiple people, like, you know, whether it be my child, my family, my friends. It might even be like the one phrase that I align with the most, and it's the idea that you can't unring a bell.
yeah,
Like, literally, once that's there, it's there. You're never going back. That's never stopping. So for him to say that, you know, well, I was thinking about, you know, when it would come out, it's like,
he was thinking about the possibility of it coming out,
but he's acknowledging it at that point.
Yeah, but he didn't say it, you know, out loud or anything. Like, it was just like this is a thing that could come out.
Sure,
whatever.
But if I put something out on the internet, like if MySpace was still up, you know, anybody could go out to MySpace and find my profile and dig up whatever dirt they wanted to at any given time, because the internet is forever. Like, unless somebody screws up like they did with MySpace, which is really sad, actually. But, you know, unless that happens, the internet is forever, and I almost feel like in today's world you have to keep your guard up and be aware of everything, because, like, I mean, even if he didn't remember it, like, think 10 years ago, 2014, do you remember every little thing you did? Because I sure as hell don't.
Not
and
at
it's
all.
like, you know, so if there was something, I don't think I did anything back then that would be big enough to be like, oh, you did this back then.
That's another thing, too, is like, you know, depending on how long it was, you know, if it was a couple years ago, sure. But if it's something that you did like 10 years ago, and like 10 years is a long span of time, and you are a completely different person in that 10 years.
Well, I mean,
most of the time.
Let's stop and think here. I don't think he's...
time.
I mean...
Most of the time. Some people are literally the exact same for, like, their entire life.
Oh, behave.
So,
like,
he talked about it, and he said, you know, he was really glad that his
he
parents...
sees both sides. Wow. All right. That's a interesting way to put that.
he has a point of like keeping a low profile is kind of the best thing, and then kind of addressing things, but it's something that's probably not on your radar every minute of every day of your life. Is just thinking about, well, is today the day that it's going to get leaked? Or
I certainly wouldn't be thinking that. I wouldn't be like walking around like, are people going to find out that?
So he said, if he got kind of emotional and like thanking his friends that were there for him, his parents being supportive and helping him through that. So then he comes onto stream after everything in the funniest way possible.
It wasn't that funny.
Dude, it was hilarious. He comes on, and the way he talks, the way he is, it's funny. I think it's funny, at least. He comes on, and he goes, let's address the elephant in the room. I got a haircut. And just, like, makes a joke, which is great. Like, that's best case scenario is to come on, have some humor about it. And then he quotes Bill Clinton, and he goes, I did not have sexual relations with that man. I'm just kidding. I did, possibly. Cat's out of the bag.
Hey, he owned it. More power to him.
Which is the best way to attack it.
Here's the thing, though. What breaks my heart is that he felt that lost when everyone found out. He was that ashamed, or whatever word you want to use to describe what he was going through because of that. That breaks my heart. But for him to come back and say, "All right, here I am.
Yeah,
I did it. Nothing's different.
Yeah, take it or leave it. Like,
yeah, it's like
it's something in the past. I can't change it. I can only change the future. Let's go."
I mean,
and he said like it's not something he would ever do again because he doesn't want to go back to the person he was when he was dealing with addiction and in those dark times.
Well, yeah, and I mean, like the bigger thing is if you liked him before you found out about that, there is no reason you should not like him just as much after that because it doesn't have an effect on you in any way, shape, or form.
Exactly. If like that's another thing too is like I guess with it coming out, like a bunch of people like decided not to support him anymore or were disappointed in him or didn't want to watch him anymore or whatever, and it's like, dude, he's the same guy.
Exactly.
Nothing like it's just something that he did in the past. It's not like he's like,
do you know about
I won't go that far, but it's not like he's just like holding said events at his house.
Whoa. Where's that bell? I need that bell. Similar situation. Do you remember what happened with Buddy Nielsen from Census Fail?
No.
Oh, okay, we won't go there. But it was a similar situation. Something came out, and Census Fail had a lot of fallout from it. Granted, it's a little bit different because they're a band. This is an influencer or content creator. But for whatever reason, it seems like in America, we just want to judge people based upon decisions they've made that have literally no effect on us.
Yeah.
And they're just way distant. Like if it was yesterday, I could see it. It's like, oh, whoa,
yeah.
let's talk for a minute. Let's stop and find out who hurt you. But it's like 10 years. 10 years, to your point, is a long time.
Yeah. I don't. It wasn't 10 years ago that he did it. It was like it was a few years ago. I was using that. I was using the 10 years.
What's a few?
Probably like 3 or 4.
Oh, whoa.
But
I'm just kidding. It doesn't affect me. It's 3 years ago.
I watched.
I don't know.
I watched the Asmongold video that he made, talking about like the situation, because anything that comes out in the realm of literally anything pop culture related or in the news or what have you, like he makes a video on it because he streams like 24/7, and his view on it was hilarious, and the words that he chose to say were hilarious. But but I mean, who cares? Like, yeah, he did some stuff back then that maybe you don't align with, but just because you don't align with it doesn't mean he's like trying to do it to you. You know what I mean? Like,
as long as it's not something that's out in the open, like broadly out in the open, like people can go seek it out and look at it and actively find it.
yeah, I don't know.
Because that's something that would worry me.
I would assume with how big and popular he is, like, there is a way for him to just be like, okay, that got leaked. Cool. We're done with that. This is now in possession of me. No one can actively seek it out.
Well, yeah, and
it's like it's like Blippi and shitting on the other dude. Like, that was a video that you could actively seek out. I think you can probably still find that.
2 Girls, 1 Cup.
I mean, like, during the pandemic, you've got a kids TV show guy just openly defecating on another man. Like, and that's a video that you could probably still find.
Okay.
Like, if that's out there,
that's my point.
That's a different story.
So, like, the internet is forever. If he can get rid of that so that it doesn't influence the younger audience,
yeah.
And I mean, I don't care if it influences them anyway. Like, I don't want them to see that kind of content.
Well, yeah,
but
younger audience should.
From an ideology perspective, it doesn't bother me. You know, everybody's entitled to have their opinion and their preferences, and you know, we're America. We're a country of freedom. If that means that you want to go
do whatever you please,
save a horse, ride a cowboy, then